Hey everybody, it's AJ and Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one and happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers that are out there. Hope you're enjoying your day. Now, this past week has been incredible. And there are a lot of things that happened this past week that are kind of foretelling for next week. Next week is going to, or this week is going to be a crazy week. As I stated, I'm expecting CPI to come in a way that is not necessarily great for most people, but I'm hoping that the numbers come in such a way that it shows that the economy is moving in the right direction. Bad things mean good things mean bad things in certain cases, and that could be now. But let's take a quick review over what happened over the past week. And I'm just going to rifle through. And, we'll come back and touch on things as I start to look forward. So you had OKX and Binance both list Notcoin. Notcoin is looking to expand the DApp availability or network for DApps or platform for DApps and other things on Toncoin. Toncoin also, I have an announcement, not announcement, but I have news later that Toncoin is also partnered with somebody else to introduce a couple of things. So Toncoin is about to explode again. It's literally, I'll show you. Actually, I can tell you now. Toncoin is literally only $3 billion, $3.5 billion away from XRP in terms of market cap. Let that wash over you for a minute. That's not far. And you're talking about a network of approaching 1 billion people. That means that's the captive audience that's there to leverage all of the applications that are being built, leverage Toncoin to actually pay for services, applications, all that kind of stuff on that particular program, which is Telegram. So that's huge, which is why I say it's not going to be hard for them to leapfrog other coins. I'm telling you, I really do think that Toncoin is going to wind up breathing down the back or down the neck, breathing all over Solana. They've got a ways to go. Don't get me wrong. They've got a ways to go. They're only 1/3 of the market cap of Solana right now. But Solana's growth has been through what? Memes. It's been through memes. Toncoin's growth has been through what? That's right. It's been through real transactions. So when I think about the value of real transactions, and I think what happens when memes fall back, Solana, I would expect Solana to take a little bit of a shave, Toncoin to grow, because those are real transactions that are happening that would grow the value of the coin. Just saying, that's my outlook for that particular coin, which made me go buy basically double my bag on it. I doubled my bag of Toncoin. And I'll tell you, I was not, everybody knows, all of the members know I'm not a fan of Telegram. But again, removing my emotional feelings about Telegram and carrying that over to Ton, then you look at it from a purely business perspective, devoid of that. And you got to say, well, you know what? Telegram's a great service, offers it to a lot of people. Yes, there are nefarious characters on there, but there are also mostly real people on there doing stuff. Got to pay attention to that. It didn't shoot up for no reason. It shot up because it was able to, it's got a captive audience. It's got real people using it. Can't shake a stick at that. So I have to eat it. I'm eating crow. And it's tasting good because I'm already in the black. I went and I made so much good money off of the initial purchase of my bag that when I purchased my second bag, I'm still in the black. Wow. So I'm happy about that. And I'll be holding on to that for a while. That it's currently still in my trading wallet or wallets bag, but I could easily see how it could move over to the hodl side. I can definitely see that. Plus, I'll talk to you about a couple of things later where I'm actually going to be trading with other things, and Toncoin might wind up moving over here. So, not the news of certain partnerships for Toncoin have not been out yet. I mean, they're out, but the greater world has not been paying attention to it yet. And I suspect when the greater world does, we could possibly see some Toncoin hit $8 or $7.50, right? Not bad. Not bad at all. My initial purchase was at $5.85. I feel disgusted that I took that long to do it. Gotta remove the emotion off of things. Harvest Global Investments. What they're doing is they plan on introducing through Hong Kong Connect is introducing the Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs that are out of Hong Kong. That's huge. Now, I don't know how the Chinese government is going to take that, but I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, ooh, it's about to heat up. That's nothing but positive news for both of those coins. Just saying. Deutsche Bank raised doubts about stablecoin stability, saying that only 14% of the stablecoins created on Tether actually survive. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, at first, when you look at that, it's a dig on Tether, but it really isn't. It's a dig on those projects. See what I mean? So again, when you're doing your own research, right? DYOR, you have to pay attention to who's involved. What's the purpose? What is this project doing that nobody else is doing? Or how much better are they doing it versus everybody else? Makes you stop and think. What else is going on? We should just be rifling through these things. Wisdom Tree app launches in New York State. That's actually a very big deal because they'll be able to work with whatever coins are within New York State and actually perform custodial services. So that's a big deal. So that app being out there is good. Somebody asked me the other day, well, given the number of foreign exchanges that used to operate in the United States, but now have implemented KYC for the United States, that means basically they've pulled out. What exchanges are left? And really, there aren't a lot, right? Gemini, Coinbase, Kraken, I think OKX is still here. But who's here of crypto.com, blockchain.com, of course. But that list is dwindling. It's only going to be exchanges that are here in the United States. And in case you have not noticed, the SEC has declared war on all centralized exchanges, except for one. Who is it? Prometheum. They have not declared war on Prometheum. As a matter of fact, what they did was they gave Prometheum a special broker-dealer deal. That's what they did. In other words, they gave a checklist to Prometheum, and Prometheum was able to check off everything miraculously. Nobody else out there who's been at this for so long, who's been asking for help from the SEC about how to remain compliant, how to become and remain compliant, that they have not given help to, they're all being sued by the SEC. But it seems like Prometheum got a cheat sheet. And I spoke about this a while, and the reason why that's important is because one of the things that Prometheum was supposed to be able to do was custody Ethereum. Yeah, right? Ethereum is being said that it's a security. So how would they be able to do that? Well, guess what? Apparently, there's some paperwork that Prometheum is supposed to put forward, and miraculously, that paperwork isn't done yet. Their deadline was this month, and it's not quite there yet. It'll be there in a little while. Okay, it'll be there in a little while. I get it. That's not the reason why it's late. It's not. The SEC has egg on its face because they gave the approval. They gave this special broker-dealer thing to Prometheum that they have not given to anybody else. And now it's done more than raise eyebrows. People are really digging into what the relationship is between Prometheum and the SEC. That's scary. As a matter of fact, let me see. When did I first start talking about Prometheum? Prometheum. All right. So I started talking about Prometheum June 16th, 2023. That's when I first started talking about Prometheum. Go back there. The 16th, actually, the 15th, the 16th. So the 15th is when I first started. Then you have more news on the 16th. Then August, I had 2 news stories about that. Then February of this year. So there's a lot of videos out there by me about Prometheum. And that's the problem with Prometheum right now, is that that's some crazy stuff that they got going on. So I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, that's very interesting. And a lot of politicians are starting to say the same, enough that they're saying they put together a bill, they're going to put it forward, and Biden saying he's going to veto the bill. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, Biden's trying to kill crypto. Hold on a second. I think Biden said, this is the last straw. Go fix yourself. Because now Gary Gensler came out and said, earlier this week, I told you about this. He came out and said, oh, yeah, there might be some things we could do better. You think, little G boy? You think? So I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, why would he say such a thing? Because Gary Gensler has never said anything like that. Not even close. He got a little perturbed because everybody keeps asking him about crypto, whenever the reporters do interviews, and he started whining about that. That only says that he's caught some heat. He's caught some heat over his stance. He knows his stance has a bunch of problems with it. He has yet to tell a good story about how he went from being pro-Bitcoin, pro-blockchain, to anti. His dealings with, Elizabeth Warren and other people calling into question, all right, well, what are you doing there, Gary? Everything with Prometheum. What's going on with that, Gary? Declaring Ethereum a security. What's up with that, Gary? Just not too long, a little over a year ago, Ethereum was, a commodity. But miraculously, as soon as that happened, as soon as, Ethereum went proof of stake versus proof of work. Now, mind you, what are the pluses of going proof of stake versus proof of work? Oh, that's right. Efficiency across the board, scalability, opens up the door to a whole bunch of other things. And the big one is power consumption. That was one of the big reasons why they went proof of stake instead of proof of work. And now all of a sudden, because of proof of stake, now he's saying, oh, well, it's a security now. It's a security now. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. The promise of, it's too decentralized. How are you going to say it's the promise of? It's a vehicle like everything else. It's a vehicle like Bitcoin. So I'm interested to find out how that works. Because that would mean that, that would mean that everything that's proof of work is what? A commodity, right? Everything that's proof of stake, everything that's on Ethereum, anything that's, EVM compatible would be considered, and if you play it out, would be considered a security. That's a long stretch, buddy. And then if you have court papers filed by the CFTC saying that Ethereum is indeed a commodity, because Gary Gensler is only talking, right? CFTC actually gave that to the courts. How's that play out? How does that play out? And then who do you go after? Anybody that touches it? Oh, that's right. Prometheum. Little bit of a sticky wicket, as they would say. So that's going to be interesting. How does that play forward? But then we get some good news. Like I said, Wisdom Tree has their app going on. SBI Holdings and Chili's are introducing fan coins to Japan. That's actually a very good thing. The biggest news I heard, the biggest news I saw, Van Eck has a new meme coin index. You know how much crow I'm eating on that one? I still think that meme coins are going to be a major problem going forward. I really do. Because what are you using them for? They're not doing anything special. They're cute names. Shiba Inu, Doge, Pepe, I think Dog with Hat, and a whole bunch of others are in their index. Obviously, they're not going to give away, their index. That would be stupid. I think if you're a customer or something like that, you might know. But so they've got this index. And I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, it's been recognized. Meme coins have been recognized. They're at a whole different level now. Now, is it possible that one of these meme coins, like Floki, which is what my son got me into, is that going to be a coin that everybody says, that's one that we should be involved in? Okay. So I did that. I did Floki. I did Jupiter. I did Dog with Hat. And along the way, I picked up some Near Protocol. I picked up some Arbitrum, some Optimism. I picked up, and I obviously added to all the rest of my bags that are out there. That's what I've been doing all weekend. Now, what else was good? Injective and Arbitrum. Injective uses Arbitrum tech to create cross-chain interoperability between Cosmos, Ethereum, and Solana. You can't tell me that's not huge. You can't tell me that's not a good thing. You can't. No way in heck. Then you have a Japanese company, centralized exchange, CoinCheck, joins the NASDAQ through a merger, right, with Thunder Bridge Capital Partners 4. Wintermute partners with OSL Digital Securities and Hashkey. Hashkey's in the news a lot. To expand the Asian market with a $1 billion liquidity pool for all the Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs. What? Yeah. So you sit back and you look at all that and you go, there's nothing but positivity building up for adoption, for retail, regular person level adoption for crypto across the world. Everybody wonders what's the difference between what's going on now with this halving event and the upcoming bull run, or the bull run that we're kind of already in. It's a little stagnant right now, but it will pick up, in my humble opinion. That's what I think. What's the difference between the one now and the one previous, or the ones previous? The number of people that are involved, the number of institutions that are involved, the dynamics that are involved, the infrastructure that's involved, just everything that's involved. It used to be a little peanut of an idea, a little peanut of a story. Now it's not a peanut of a story. Every morning, turn on a news channel. Turn on a money channel. Fox News, CNBC, just turn one on. They all give you an update on the crypto markets. Every one of them, they give you an update. That's the difference. That's the difference. It's huge. The number of people, the number of wallets, the number of addresses, the amount of trades, everything is different now than it was during the previous halving events. Very different. Very, very different. The preparation of, granted, you have companies like Hut 8 and Riot, they've seen their productivity go down, but not by 50%. You want to know why? Because they saw it coming and they started upgrading. They started adding to their environments so that they can maintain as much as they can. And they still have more mining machines coming online. So when I tell you that the adoption levels are growing, they're growing by leaps and bounds. They really are. So when I look at everybody, I'm kind of like, wow, what are you freaking out about? What are you running on about? What I really want people to do, whether you want to invest directly in crypto or invest indirectly in crypto, you should go out and build out a foundational understanding about what cryptocurrency is, where it came from, what it's all about, why decentralization is huge. When did it actually start? It didn't start with Bitcoin. It did not start with Bitcoin as much as people would like to think. Bitcoin became successful because of preceding projects. David Chaum's, DigiCash. Wade Dai's, right after that, Wade Dai's BitGold. 80s and 90s, when those things happened. What were things like in the 70s that made people start thinking about it, made mathematicians start going after it? Then in 2008, what happened? Then you had Bitcoin. People got tired of the governments out there screwing with their money. Major corporations making money and expanding the difference between the regular person and the rich person and the rich person and the wealthy person. If you look at everything that's going on right now, everything that goes on right now says that the wealthy are going to get wealthier. The rich are now becoming the middle class, and everybody else is just poor. Look at the numbers. Look at everything that's going on. I'm not lying to you. Go look at the difference between how high or how much, salaries have increased versus the cost of housing. Just look at that one metric. I'm not kidding you. The moat is getting bigger between the rich, or the haves, and the have-nots. And when you really look at the wealthy, the rich are nobody. The rich is way smaller than what the middle class used to be. I wrote one of my, I think it was my brother Robert, that wrote a post, and I responded to his post with basically that same message. And I went further and I said, if you are renting right now and you don't have clear plans to buy property, and you don't buy property, you will probably never be able to buy property. Or at least where you think you could. Those opportunities are closing down quickly. Very quickly. Where you thought you could buy property, that's not where you could buy it now. You've got to look in lower priced areas. If I were to sell property in New York today, I'm probably not going to be able to afford to live in New York. Just because that's how it is right now. In terms of starter homes, I've said this time and time again, if you live in Georgia, there are 3 companies that own 19,000 starter homes in the greater Atlanta area. Another 7 companies own another 11,000. So between 10 companies, there are 30,000 homes that will probably never again be listed for sale. And even if they were, because of the sale of all those houses, housing prices have skyrocketed. Yeah. So either you invest your money now and try to achieve certain goals, set realistic goals, you're hosed. You're absolutely hosed. I hate to say it like that, because I'm an optimist. I really am an optimist. Everything that I know, everything that I've done, everything that I've taught, just everything about me, I'm an optimist. But certain realities are there. So I look at, just how things are going, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to invest my money as much as I can. I will take that lesson of, if you see blood in the streets, from a investment perspective, if you see blood in the streets, even if it's yours, invest. Because sooner or later, the streets will get cleaned up, right? Meaning the markets will go up. And if you were able to invest then, you bite the bullet and you invest then, even when you're hurting, down the road, you'll be better off for it. It's scary when you really play out the numbers. The other day I was talking to my brother and I said, listen, I worry about our kids. My kids make good salaries. Oldest graduated from school. She had a job before she could bat an eyelash. That's how well she did. So she landed a really good job. I'm so proud of her. So proud of her. But when I do the math, how old will my daughter be before she can afford to buy her own place? Wow. How long will it take to save up that money? Wow. Because they're making it so that there are no starter homes, so you can't aim for a starter home. You've got to aim for your forever home. Because that idea, That idea of just being able to go buy something right now, and that's not going to happen. Your first house, and then you outgrow it, and then you go buy your next. No, that's being slowly taken away. That path, and something else I went over, that path of I'm going to go to college, I'm going to graduate from college, and then I'm going to get my own place, and then I'll save money, and then I'll go and, do some, I'll go buy my house. No, that path is gone. That path is gone. You know what has to happen now for that to work for most of the people out there? You graduate from college. If you had to go, touch on that in a minute. It's all about investment, growing your bag. You have to stay at home. You're not going to save money going out there getting your own apartment unless you had lived with a whole bunch of people so that you can all save. For that, you might as well stay at home and save your money then. Why? Rent prices are ridiculous. Even if you could get your rent to only a few $100s a month, that's still a few $100s a month that if you could stay at home, that's a few $100s a month extra that you could be investing. Just saying, certain pathways are gone. And then you have to make a real decision as to, do I really need to go to college? Everybody that knows me knows I do speaking engagements. I talk to kids about how to go to college, to go from high school to college using their athleticism, the scholarship process, all that stuff. I even wrote a book on it. Got it. Cool. Awesome. The first question you've got to ask yourself is, what kind of life do I want to live? Right? Don't think about the job you have to have. Don't think about any of that. Those are hard questions. Those are hard ideas. Do something different. Back into all of that. What kind of life do you want to live? Then after you figure out what kind of life you want to live, then you figure out what careers can earn the right money to get you there. And do that with all the realistic right now numbers, and then do the same thing with projected numbers. And you can get all that data. You can get that from the United States. And we have to refresh it, but we normally have that data on Be Seen Sports. Anywho, that means that no matter what stage of life you are at, you must invest. You must make your money, no matter how little, no matter how big that money is. You've got to invest your money so that you can survive going forward, let alone thrive. Thriving in these economies across the world, it's not enough that you survive. You must thrive. When I became a parent, we said we have to give our kids a platform. We started here, we achieved here. Then we have to push our kids up here. So on and so forth, so on and so forth. That's the true essence of multi-generational wealth. It's the idea of you living for your last name and not your first name. So when I look at this news, those are the goggles that I'm looking at everything through. How can I leverage this news to make the right investments so that the people carrying my name forward, not me, I'm fine. Am I perfect? Am I loaded? No. But my kids are better off. And I want their kids to be better off. When I say I live for my last name, I'm not living for my last name, meaning my kids. I'm living my last name for my grandkids, for my great grandkids. That's who I'm living my life for. That's who I want to invest for. So I look at this news. I look at how the U.S. government is, fighting itself over crypto because a bunch of old folks don't understand how it works. They're stuck on screwing everything that has to do with crypto and saying, we're going to do a CBDC. The hell is the difference between a CBDC, the tech behind it, right? A CBDC and crypto. There is no difference. The only difference is that the government needs to control fiat. If a government doesn't have fiat, then what does it have? This is a stupid freaking question because you still have the country, its people. That's what you have. But it's all about control. Which is why I keep telling people you must invest. It's not enough that you put your money in a bank. I can stake coin and make more money on a per year basis. 5% staking coin. I can do more money. I can make Upwards of 5%, easy, without batting an eyelash. Upwards of 5% on my money. How much am I going to get from a bank? And I've staked my money. I get paid every day, basically, on how that works with several ones. That's great. I unstake my digital asset and I can go use it. This is what I'm talking about. Investing, understanding the different vehicles for investing. I know a few people that have lost it with degenning, and I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. I know people that have gotten into trouble because of restaking. That's when you stake your money, right? And then that company that's got your staked money restakes it, stakes it again. That's restaking. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to be involved in that. It increases your risk profile. That's why I'm like, yeah, no, that's not happening for me. So I look for everything that's negative with regard to adoption. I look for everything that's negative with regard to compliance and regulation, right? I look for anything that could have a positive or negative effect. And then I'm feeding myself all of that information and I'm coming up with a risk synopsis. Meaning based on everything that I see, what's the risk that I see out there? And then I react to those risk levels. Right? Okay, I must say I'm a proud papa. I'm a happy papa because my big girl just got home. So I'm very happy about that. Stitch is happy about it too. He's upstairs giving her kisses and everything. So I often think about, just what is it that comes forward for us? There are just so many things that are going forward that are good going on right now that I'm kind of like, wow. When you've got so many people going up against the SEC saying, what the heck are you doing? You're stomping on innovation. And I think that's where the SEC has overreached. They're stomping on innovation. And that's never a good thing. This is the United States. That's the one thing that we are known for is innovation. You never, ever want to take that direction. So what do you have right now? You've got Ripple opening up all over the world. They've already on record saying 95% of our money is made outside the United States. Ooh, what? Yeah. So what are you going to do? You've already chased out all of the other countries that have made investments in the United States by doing business here. You've chased them out now. Good job. Good job. That's anti everything that we're supposed to be standing for. But now the SEC is starting to get pushback. Kraken's fighting back. Coinbase is fighting back. Robinhood says they're going to fight back. Everybody's fighting back against the SEC. When does the government actually stop and say, we're not doing things correctly here? We're not taking a pragmatic approach on how we can take basically this fledgling industry and give it operating parameters so that it can prosper. The reason why is because they think they want to control it. They're not going to be able to control it, in my humble opinion. The more they squeeze, the more it'll just leave the United States, which endangers the United States, right? Endangers us for brain drain, lack of innovation, because people are going to start saying, why should I innovate here? Why should I bother? Other countries are inviting United States countries to move to their country, where they will be free to innovate. What? Yeah, that's how that's working. So you start to realize everything that's going on. And that's why I keep pushing for, start to pay attention to what is out there with regard to adoption. What's driving adoption for us? What's dropping news that's gonna be good for us? Looking at JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and other banks announce that we do hold Bitcoin. Shocker there. Shocker. You could only hide that for so long. You could hide it for 1 quarter. And that's what they did. They hid it for 1 quarter that they actually own crypto. Because you have to report it. It's a publicly traded company. You have to report it. The number of publicly traded companies that had to come back and actually report that they hold crypto has increased by a lot. Like I said, like I keep telling you, do your own research and understand, grow that foundational knowledge for you to make the right investment decisions, whether it be stocks, bonds, business, crypto, whatever it is that you think you're going to use your money to invest in, to grow your bag. Do your own research and understand it. Most of all, develop a reason for it. It can't just be, oh, because they made $1, I want to make $1. You want to know how many trades are going on right now because people are FOMOing in? Fear of missing out. For those that don't know, it's a very big deal. It's more than just a big deal. It is a huge deal. That kind of huge. That's why I'm so adamant about, I don't blow smoke up your tail about, oh, you got to buy Bitcoin, you got to do this, you got to do that, blah, blah, blah. No. I try to bring you news so that you can start to understand how my brain is thinking when it comes to me gathering news, so that you can gather news based on how you think, and preferably come back to the Grow My Bag community and share your thoughts. My boy Morgan put me on to Pendle. A couple of other people have tried it. Whenever somebody asks me, hey, can you do research on? I take it as them trying to put me on to something, trying to say, hey, I'm thinking about it. Have you thought about it? Now, sometimes those things don't fit my parameters for research. Other times it does. I weight that against, well, who's the person that's telling me, and the conversations that we've had, do I trust their opinion on something? Or is it somebody that's just promoting a project? Now, I had 2 situations arise, and one was definitely not trying to promote a project. Really just literally just wanted me to do some research. I need your eye on this. I heard about it. What do you think? Kind of deal. The other one was definitely somebody trying to promote a project. To which I quickly said, nah, I'm good off that. Nope. I'm cool off that. I'm not here to promote projects. I'm here to share with you, some of what I do. I'm here to share news with you. I'm here to share with you ideas on what I'm researching and why I'm researching it, what I think it tells me for the future. I don't look at things from the past except to help me see what's going on in the future. But I'm really looking for news to drive crypto. I'm not looking at numbers to drive crypto. So every time I hear about a TA analysis and all that good stuff, it's nice to listen to. Every now and then, that's cute. But really, news drives crypto. Don't believe me? Pick out a meme coin, Pepe. The hell does Pepe have to do with any kind of real metrics? Nothing. It's a cute name. People like the cute name. Dog with hat. Costco hot dog. Floki. Shiba Inu. Doge. They like the name. There's no numbers behind it. There's nothing. There's nothing that's going to tell you the ebb and the flow. When I tell you to understand the rhythm of a coin, it's because that flow right there, that rhythm is based on what? It's based on people and how they're buying, how they're selling, and that rhythm in which it happens. That's what's going on. So I'm just saying. That's what I'm looking at. So this week, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the CPI numbers to come out, Consumer Price Index. I'm looking for the PPI numbers to come out, Producer Price Index. I'm looking to ride the wave for now. I'm going to continue buying what I'm buying. I'm expecting there to be a dip when the CPI numbers hit, when the PPI numbers hit. I'm expecting there to be a dip. Depending on how good or bad those numbers are, it could be a big dip. And you know what I'm going to do? I've already bought this weekend, not going to buy anything else until after. When it's after, that's when I'll buy. Because that's when I think everything is going to open up, and those will give me the most bang for my buck. Beyond that, I think from that we'll have confirmation on what this U.S. economy is, and we'll have a peekaboo on the rest of the world's economies. excuse me, based on that, oh, after all that, I think everything is going to explode. Might be a little bit, but I think everything's going to explode. Do I still think that we'll hit 80,000 this year? Yes, I still think that we're going to hit 80,000 this year. I actually think that we'll hit better than 80,000 this year. I think 80,000 will be the minimum. So somebody asked me about Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is currently at like 22 and a half, something like that. And she asked me, well, what do you think about Shiba Inu? And I said, if you bought Shiba Inu today, I'm not mad at you. Because Shiba Inu was at 4,000 when it hit 73,750. I think it was like 73.8 and change that Shiba Inu, that Bitcoin finally settled on. But when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, Shiba Inu was in the 4,000 range. So wherever we are now, when that happens with Bitcoin, I'm expecting that and then some to happen with Shiba Inu. That and then some. And there are other coins that I think will do even better that will definitely give you multiples. Some larger than others, but I think they'll give you multiples. I think Toncoin is going to be one of those, and it's going to drop jaws. It will drop jaws. So yeah, that's why I'm involved in it right now. Right? Near Protocol, I think, is going to take off. Floki, in terms of meme coins, Floki, Shiba Inu to me is not really a meme coin. Dog with Hat, Jupiter, not really a meme coin, but Jupiter to me falls kind of in that space. It's still young. I'm taking a chance with that one because I don't like the circulating supply and max supply ratio right there, but I'm taking a chance on it. Arbitrum, Optimism. There are some coins out there that I just think that are going to do amazingly well. I don't own all of the coins that I think are going to do amazingly well, by the way. Hedera Hashgraph doing amazingly well. Pith Network, I think, is going to do well. I bought some more Chainlink. Why? Because it was down. I'm probably going to buy some more. Like, I have my list. I have my first level list, and I have my second level list. And then I have all of my meme coins separately in terms of what I'm going to buy, when everything transpires this week. But that's what I'm expecting to do this week. That's what I'm expecting to hit. So taking all that news from last week, looking forward this week and the couple of weeks beyond, that's where my head is going to be. And of course, I'm talking about all my dry powder money, not my DCA money. My DCA money happens no matter what. I'm going to dollar cost average and buy whatever it is I'm going to buy. My dry powder money, on the other hand, that's where I get to really play. Will I be trading meme coins when I see that rhythm happening? Will I be trading my meme coins? Yes. My hodl coins? Yeah, I'll probably just hodl. Unless there's a significant increase, I'm probably just going to hodl. And what I'll do is I will sell those coins and I'll drop into either Tether or USDC, right? And the reason why is because I'm in striking distance for whatever I want to get my hands on. I'm in striking distance. And then I don't have to worry about, trading on a SEX. I can just trade. I can do swaps wherever. I can do all that kind of stuff. And yes, I do pay attention to what trades I'm making. I pay attention to the bounces that I'm making. I made a trade today. So earlier I mentioned that I bought some Toncoin and I was able, with all the money I made from the first one, that I was able in the second tranche to actually still be in the black. The reason why is because my second trade, I did enough bounces where I basically got all of my money. I made back all of my fees because of how I traded. I do the math on that. I'm kind of stupid like that. I track that. I absolutely track that. So my strike price contains even my fees. So if I drop $1,000 in, I drop a rack, that rack gets tracked. So whatever my fees are, blah, 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 at the end of the day, you might wind up with like $970 of whatever it is that you wanted to buy. I don't track 970. I track 970 as being in the red because I'm tracking at 1,000. At the end of the day, I was at like 999 and 10 for that one trade. So I basically broke even. But because of the money I made over here, I'm good to go. And then In 3 minutes, I made my money back. I got the 90 cents that I was off. So yeah, I pay attention to how I'm making my trades. I treat those kinds of things almost like Forex. How can I do these bounces to make money? Like my brother Elliot, he does the same thing with stocks and options. He'll bounce things to minimize the amount of money he's paying in fees with how he traded and what he traded for. Because that's what we're trying to do. It's easier over here in the crypto world because we can control certain things, but in the stock world, it takes a lot to do that. He can only minimize. He can't fully make his money back unless that stock or option goes up in value. In this case, I can actually make it back because of where I'm trading to and from. One was higher than the other. I make my money. So yeah, I pay attention to that. Something that people also do not pay attention to is you got your coin. That's awesome. I'm glad you got your coin. How are you going to flip that back? How do you flip that back? How do you flip your ton coin back into, like, let's say USDC? Right? How do you flip that back to Tether? See what I mean? Because Changelly is out. I can get, right? I can get ton coin through Changelly, but I can't send it back through Changelly because Changelly is using antiquated technology. They're using the EQ addresses versus UQ addresses. So you'd have to test to see if they can get that back and then flip that for you. If they can, great. If they can't, because they tell you, I got an email from them like, we can't guarantee that that's going to work. Oops. Because they haven't switched over yet. And I'm just trying to figure out how come they haven't switched over. Which means that you have to be someplace where you can flip your ton coin back and forth real easy. And there are other swaps that you could do that with. That's not a problem. But you have to have that path back so that you're not wasting time when it comes time to actually execute on taking your profit. More things that people need to think about. It's not just the acquisition. It's the selling thereof, right? All that stuff. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, drop me a super. Say thanks. Let me know what I'm doing for you guys, how it's going for you. And if you don't like what I'm doing, you have a critique, not a criticism. Criticism go like this, but a critique is somebody really trying to help you do better, help raise you up. If you have a critique, let me know. I'd like to do better. I love doing that. Other than that, I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.